2023 has been really great for JRPG fans. There's been a lot of games come out since the beginning of the year till now in December, but there's two big companies that put out a lot of output in terms of JRPGs games this year. Some good, some great, and some, pretty bad.
I just move shit with my freaking mind!
And that's for Square Enix and Atlus, both great companies with some incredible games that have become my personal best games that I played of all time. And you would think they would slow down for next year in terms of, putting output there with their games, right? But now we know that it's looking like they're just gonna go crazy again next year in 2024. So let's take a look on what I'm talking about here. First, let's take a look at some of the games that they released this year in 2023. Starting off with Atlus, Persona 4 Golden, Persona 3 Portable, finally ported over to modern consoles. Both great games that if you have not played these two Persona games, I do recommend you one of the best JRPG games out there. Then you have Atrium Odyssey Collection, a remastered collection from Nintendo DS. I never tried these games, but I did hear good things about them. And finally, you have Persona 5 Tactica, a spin-off from Persona 5 with a different take, strategy tactics game. And now for Square Enix, they released Octopath Traveler 2, one of the best modern turn-based games in my opinion that I've played. Next, Final Fantasy 16, finally a new mainline Final Fantasy game that we've been asking for a long time. Great game there. Then you have Star Ocean Second Story R, which I'm currently playing right now. Great game as well. And finally, this month, December, we had Dragon Quest Monsters, right? So just take a look at all these games, all different JRPGs. You really couldn't go wrong this year with picking which one you wanted to play with. But now in 2024, it's looking like another great year for JRPG fans because Square and Atlus are not lighting up. First, with Square Enix in February, the most anticipated game of the year, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, is coming out. The second part of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it's looking like it's going to be even more crazy than the first game. So if you have not played the first part, I highly suggest you do, or at least, watch a video to get a recap, because I'm telling you right now, if you love JRPGs, if you like Final Fantasy, you don't want to miss this game. The next game they announced for next year is Saga Emerald Beyond, a new Saga game that looks pretty interesting. Maybe a smaller budget for Square Enix, but it might be a good game. It looks pretty interesting. I can't remember when a new Saga game came out, so keep your eye out on this game. It might be a game for you, And finally, Visions of Mana, the game that just got announced on the Game Awards, a new mainline game from the Mana series. After 15 long years, we are finally getting a new mainline Mana game, and so far, at least in my opinion and what I've seen, it looks really incredible. I can't wait. The art style, the gameplay of what they showed is up my alley. So all we have to do now is wait for more information, more trailers. But I do believe this game is going to be great for JRPG fans and for Mana fans as well. Now let's move over with Atlus, right? For 2024, what are they doing, right? Starting off with Persona 3 Reloaded, coming out February 2nd. Just a couple of weeks before Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm a huge Persona fan, but I've never played Persona 3, so I'm really excited to try out this remake because it's looking really good, really sleek, and I just hear great things about Persona 3, so I'm excited to finally dive into that game and story, right? But being so close to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I do have to plan my playtime better, or at least be more organized to hopefully finish Persona 3 before Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out, So the next game from Atlus after Persona is Unicorn Overlord, coming out March 8th. So close to Persona 3 and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, so it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for me to start this game, because I do have to finish Rebirth before anything else, and I'm not gonna rush that game because I'm really looking forward for that game. So after Rebirth, I will dive into this game, Unicorn Overlord. The game is kind of, the name is kind of wacky, but the game itself looks amazing. The artwork, just man, Vanillaware art style in their games just looks so beautiful. The gameplay looks like a strategy tactics game, kind of like Fire Emblem, and the animations on the fights are so crazy looking, like the art style, like I just mentioned. So I'm really excited for this game, and I hope it gets more recognition because it looks so different than anything that we played. And finally, Metaphor Re-Fantasio, a new IP from Atlus, you know, from the team behind Persona 3, 4, and 5. So you know this game is gonna be great, you know. They showed more gameplay recently on the Game Awards, and wow, you know, this game gives me Fire Emblem Persona vibes mixed together, especially because, you know, the protagonist is actually a little bit like Fire Emblem Engage protagonist, with the blue eyes and the blue hair and stuff like that. The protagonist from this game actually looks like a Fire Emblem character, you know. It's kind of funny like that. The combat is, it's a hybrid of action and turn-based gameplay, which is really interesting to me because I don't think I ever seen that kind of concept in a game before. I mean, you let me know in the comments below, but at least from the JRPGs that I played, I don't think I've seen anything like that, you know. And for me, this game, you know, Metaphor, is up there for one of the most anticipated games of this next year, 2024. And honestly, this year was crazy with games, you know, especially JRPGs. I played so many JRPGs, I put in so many hours, and I'm sure a lot of people did as well. But next year is really looking like another big year for games, and we just talked about some of the games that we know about, you know. So who knows what else they would announce and they will release through the year, you know, with having Nintendo Directs or PlayStation Showcase or whatever the case, not including the other JRPGs. I'm just talking about two companies because these two companies, Atlus and Square Enix, have been putting a lot of output by themselves, especially for this year, 2023. And so far, 2024, it's looking big for them as well. So, but what do you think about these games? You know, Square Enix and Atlus just going off for 2024. Are you excited as I am for all these JRPGs? Are you picking this up? Are you playing them day one? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.